This news update is brought to you by
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Pure happiness will be connect to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow. Pure happiness will be connect to flow.
It's Friday, November the 27th, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. In our top story this morning, flogging is to be outlawed in the juvenile justice system in Barbados, with Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite declaring yesterday that he will not be part of any government that supports corporal punishment. Brathwaite, who is also the Minister of Home Affairs, served notice of his intention to have flogging eliminated when he addressed a Stop Violence Against Children youth rally at the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Centre yesterday morning. Although he did not say precisely when the change will occur, Brathwaite told the audience of mainly teachers and children from various primary schools that having signed on to the Convention on the Rights of the Child, Barbados was required to eliminate corporal punishment, and that's the way it is going to be.
As a country, we have signed on to the Convention on the Rights of the Child, and that convention speaks to the elimination of corporal punishment. And we have to decide whether or not we're going to adhere to that convention. I know that in the schools, for example, that there are some teachers who are concerned that if you take away corporal punishment from the school, then it will lead to further indiscipline among the young people. But in the absence of empirical evidence, I have to say that I maintain the position we have signed on to the convention that requires us to eliminate corporal punishment. Certainly, as Attorney General, I can tell you that in our new juvenile justice bill, that corporal punishment will be removed from any juveniles, and juveniles there mean any person under 18 years of age.
UNICEF's children's champion and former juvenile court magistrate Faith Marshall Harris was over the moon about the Attorney General's declaration to eliminate flogging in the juvenile justice system. Marshall Harris was therefore happy that she was now no longer a voice crying in the wilderness.
Those adults in your life beat you for anything you do that they consider wrong because they're angry with you, then again that's a message to you. This is the way we do it. Naturally then, you're going to take it back to school, you're going to take it to the playground, you're going to take it on the buses, you're going to take it to the bus terminal. That is to get someone to see your point of view because you're angry with them, because they've done you something. The way to do it is to be violent to that person. And what we are trying here to do is to end that cycle.
In other news now, there's a warning this morning from the medical fraternity that continuing patient care in Barbados could be in jeopardy, with doctors scheduled to meet an emergency session next Tuesday at 5 p.m. to determine their next move. The Barbados Association of Medical Practitioners, BAP, is gravely concerned that government's proposed legislation for use of a tax clearance certificate as a requirement for registration could affect patient care. Following an official notice that was sent to all doctors inviting them to the meeting in the Marigold Room of the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Centre, BAMP's Public Relations Officer Dr. Linda Williams told Barbados Today in a brief comment that if doctors can't register, that would have implications for patient care. BAMP said this important meeting will allow the executive to update physicians on the implications of the proposed requirement for professional medical practice, inform them of the response of other professional bodies, and will determine BAMP's position on the move forward. Minister of Industry, International Business, Commerce and Small Business Development, Donville Innes, is asking his party colleagues to stay focused. He was speaking to Barbados Today against the backdrop of the turmoil within the opposition Barbados Labour Party stemming from the expulsion last Sunday of Christchurch West MP Dr. Maria Airgard and seeming defiance of opposition leader Mia Motley from St. Andrew MP George Payne. Speaking by telephone, Innes told the DLP colleagues that now was not the time to be distracted by the goings-on within the BLP. The outspoken minister said the Dems must stay focused on maintaining their own relevance to the social, economic, and political development of Barbados.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter, that's the move for me. Stability, prosperity, we're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Thanks for staying with us, and it's time now for news about our neighbors. There are now clear indications that some public sector workers in Jamaica could soon be sent packing from their jobs. The reason is that the government is trying to stay within the International Monetary Fund's target of 9% wage to gross domestic product by March 2017. Financial Secretary Devon Rowe told the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee of Parliament during a 3.5-hour deliberation that the interim report on the 2015-2016 fiscal policy paper that the increases in compensation packages to public sector workers is expected to push up the wage to GDP ratio. Following months of contentious negotiations with the various groups and their unions, the government signed a number of agreements and still has a few more negotiations to complete during this quarter. Rowe, however, insisted that a 9% wage to GDP ratio is still the goalpost. In more regional news, police in Guyana are ramping up their crime-fighting strategies in light of a troubling trend where motorcycles are being used to commit crimes. We pick up the rest of the story in this Capital News report.
The police have commenced a crackdown on CG motorcycles, believed to be prevalently used in robberies committed around the city. Commander of A Division Clifton Aiken told reporters that the police will be taking the fight to criminal elements. Aiken said during the intense and sustained police operations over this busy Christmas shopping period, law-abiding citizens would be inconvenienced, and he is begging for patience from citizens.
Sending this signal to members of the public because we don't want you to feel that we are targeting you without a justification, but we've commenced campaign for the CG motorcycles, and coming out of our analysis again, CG motorcycles are being used to perpetrate acts of crimes and violence against themselves and people. So we are doing a campaign for that. We noticed that they had a few youngsters riding around with unlighted bicycles in the night and doing petty robberies, which is carrying up our crime rate. Lasting from the person, we are stepping up on that too. We are going to be intensifying our roadblock during the day. During the night, we are going to be searching homes, so persons who are not involved in aspect of crime, just be patient with us. You may be inconvenient.
On the international scene, an opposition politician in Venezuela has been shot to death at a rally in the run-up to parliamentary elections. Luis Manuel Diaz, a local official for the Democratic Action Party, was gunned down at the event in the town of Algracia de Artico on Wednesday. The Democratic Action Party has denounced and condemned the assassination. And finally, Russia's President Vladimir Putin. He says his country is ready to cooperate with the U.S.-led global coalition against ISIS. White House officials have repeatedly said that the Syrian leader must go if there's going to be peace in the nation torn by war since 2011, a belief France shares. Also yesterday, British Prime Minister David Cameron became the latest world leader to call for an escalation in the fight against ISIS, as the French President François Hollande continues a whirlwind week of diplomacy to build an international coalition against the terror group.
We shouldn't be content with outsourcing our security to our allies. If we believe that action can help protect us, then with our allies, we should be part of that action, not standing aside from it. And from this moral point comes a fundamental question. If we won't act now, when our friend and ally France has been struck in this way, then our allies in the world can be forgiven for asking, if not now, when?
And on that note, we end our Barbados Today morning news update. However, you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, email update, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media and bus terminals, or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Flow TV and the Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.